Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Echo Chamber Reviews. It's been a while, but that is only because we've been desperately searching for the answer to the question, can you make a movie with no plot, no likable characters, and just nothing? Nothing happens. Turns out the answer is yes.
Have you heard about Ad Astra, guys? On a completely different note.
A completely separate note.
What is happening out there is a crisis of unknown magnitude.
We believe your father may be involved.
My father's dead. What exactly are you requiring from me?
So Ad Astra is basically a sort of space exploration,
But not really.
It's like 2001, but worse.
somehow. Listen. So the
That's
reason
about-
I went to see this is because it got compared to like Interstellar, 2001. You know, movies that are like
Good?
good, and also it's like sort of small scale, a little bit realistic.
Yep.
And kind of an interpretation on like old style sci-fi, right?
Mm-hmm.
This one kind of, it felt like it tried to do that and tried to add like some political stuff, but it just didn't work. None of it worked at all.
It's too grounded for its own good because nothing interesting happens. There's not even any kind of like payoff at the end.
No.
I was still even towards the end I was like, there's gonna be some kind of payoff.
Because
Literally
like
no
the whole
payoff.
point of like they were looking for aliens, right?
Right.
Basically. And at the end of the movie I'm like, I'm just waiting for psych bitch, there's aliens.
or
honestly,
something.
Like at the 2-hour mark in that movie, I would have been cool with that. I would have been cool with an alien reveal because it would have given me like
well, at least
a
something
payoff,
happened.
right? Like
Yeah.
as opposed to nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah. Honestly, can you describe the plot of this movie for us?
I told you nothing happens.
Either of you.
There's no characters to be invested in, and there's this absence.
The best I got is Brad Pitt's dad, Tommy Lee Jones, went to space a while back looking for aliens. Didn't work out, and now there's a threat. Now Brad Pitt has to go stop it, but he's not supposed to stop it because he's too emotionally invested. But he still goes and tries to stop at the end.
Right. You sold yet? Yeah, I think the plot of this movie was basically some screenwriter probably wrote something that did well at Sundance one year and then thought that he could do anything, and so he wrote Ad Astra. That's pretty much
I don't understand.
what happened. That's the backstory.
So when we got home, I also wanted to look up. I was curious, like critically, because I'd only seen like the trailer for this movie. It looked kind of interesting. Like you said, like older, like more grounded sci-fi. I was like, I'm into that. And otherwise, I had basically looked at nothing. So I went on IMDb, and it's like 70-80%, like positive.
Audience or
Audience and critic.
Really?
And guess what our good friend Roger Ebert feels about Ad Astra.
Did he give it a
How many
4 out of
stars?
4 out of 4.
You think it's 4 out of 4?
3.5 out of
His
4.
rating scale is 4 out of 4.
Yeah.
What do you think he gave it?
I think I missed this conversation with this person. 'Cause I don't
Roger
know
Ebert is a really snobby
He's dead.
critic. Well, was.
His site.
Okay.
It's more fun to just pick on
Sure,
a person.
we can use
though,
Roger
as a
Ebert.
person.
Where was I when we discovered Robert Ebert? Because I don't remember this at all.
He's like one of the oldest film critics.
Yeah.
Okay, well, why am I like totally drawing a blank? It's the drugs.
That's why he's dead.
I'll blame the drugs.
4 out of 4 for rating scale.
I have 3.5.
3.5.
Yeah.
Perfect 4 out of 4.
Imagine that. Has he ever been right about anything?
Nope.
Nope.
Still
He
begrudges the
hated
thing.
what did he
The
hate?
Thing.
He hated the thing. He hated The Usual Suspects.
Yeah.
He hated Stargate.
He can fucking die.
He's wrong about everything. Also, he gave The Golden Compass a perfect 4 out of 4. So
What was that movie even about? I remember I watched it.
it was a polar bear
And a golden compass.
yeah, a compass that was made of gold, I think. And some really
Spirit
really
animals.
subtle analogies about God, right? I think it was something like that.
Do we even really know?
But it's a good thing we bring that up when we're talking about Ad Astra, because
segue.
both of those movies are very similar in the fact that they have nothing going on.
And that tomorrow I won't remember anything besides a Brad Pitt space movie.
Yes.
As much as I knew going into
Tommy
it.
Lee Jones looks really ancient, which he probably is, but
How old do you think Tommy Lee Jones is?
78.
Bradley, what do you
Did
think?
you look him up, or were you
I feel like recently we looked it up, didn't
Maybe
we?
I don't know. Remember? I don't think we did. What do you think, Bradley?
74?
I'm gonna go 80.
We go
Just
80.
to make this interesting.
Nice
Same.
even 80.
Yep,
huh?
80 exactly.
It's find out. Stay tuned.
Do 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 do.
73.
Fuck.
I
He
win.
looks really bad. For his age. Wow.
It's all the gravity, or I guess the lack of gravity.
It's all that Neptune, all that antimatter.
Yes.
So I guess like, are we still separating things by spoiler and not spoiler?
No, fuck this movie.
Okay.
Nothing happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you can't even like
If you
talk.
go see this, you're an idiot.
Well, no, because that would make all of us idiots.
Well,
But we're kind of our idiots. We
Well,
don't see it. Yeah,
yeah.
true.
But we're warning you.
that was not excluding us from.
We do it so you don't have to. So I guess I could talk very briefly about the things that I thought the movie did well.
Very briefly,
Very
go ahead.
briefly, yeah.
Very briefly, go
So,
ahead.
There were some very small details in this movie that I thought were good. Very small. Like some of the fonts and like the graphic design for like the plaques and stuff on the lunar base felt very near future, you know? Like it didn't feel super futuristic.
Mm-hmm.
And like they used like the airport like runway and taxiway signs for like the lunar paths
Yeah.
and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And like they had like a reference to like St. Christopher, which is like an aviator thing, you know? Before they launch, I think that was on the moon, the moon sequence.
Probably,
yeah. And like little things like that. Well, the other thing I liked was the duty fatigues of the Martian soldiers. You know, they had like that red desert camo.
Yeah.
That was all that I liked about the movie.
No, I did like the aesthetic of it in like the first half. I thought they did a good job of doing the near future stuff.
Right.
That's the only positive thing. I would
There's
also
really
add.
nothing else.
Yeah.
Yeah. It looked pretty.
It
but
looked
that was
fine,
about
yeah.
it.
There were some. I do like. I want to bring up at the end, the way that he gets onto his like original spacecraft from his dad's spacecraft is the spinning thing at the top, and I was like waiting for that to happen because every space movie in this genre has to have a shot, like a POV shot, following something that's spinning with respect to like the planet, you know.
Yep.
Every single one has to do it. So like that was clearly like almost seemed like it was taken straight out of Interstellar.
Yeah.
And then there was a scene where he was downloading all of the images.
Looked exactly like 2001.
Exactly. It was like
the
HAL's
date.
9000's memory banks. It was like almost shot the exact same way with the same lighting. It was crazy.
I give 2001 a lot of shit, which you know.
Yeah, I do.
You're aware. I give that movie a lot of shit for being very, very boring. And there's like 30 minutes of really, really good. The stuff with Hal.
Yeah.
That's about it. At least 2001 has the Hal going for it.
At least it has a plot. It loses the plot at the beginning, at the very end, but it has a story.
Yeah.
What
and at
was
least
the
something
story
happens.
of Ad Astra?
There's a space baby.
Yeah.
I'd take space babies.
Yeah, and then like because
Right.
like we were saying like there's like not even like a message to like try like what's the message of it
The
then?
message,
If it's not really a
I
good
think-
story. What's the message then?
As clearly as I can tell, and from the little bit I read on Roger
Yes.
Ebert, is
So you had to read a review to find out what the movie was about.
exactly. Is like how you become your father, which is basically a line in the movie, and an absence of God,
Yeah.
and also apparently intelligent life. So
and the
take
thing is,
take that.
it was so confused trying to relay those messages because the only time that it even approached having a theme was at the end where he's like going through all of the planets that his father discovered, and he's like he missed the beauty that was there because he was just seeing what was missing. And so like I guess that was supposed to be a reflection on like how humanity is unique, or you know something, or maybe it was an inversion of that and it was like cosmic indifferentism or something. I don't really know what this movie was trying to say.
Yeah.
Basically what I'm
That's
going.
a
It could go either of the extremes, you know, like complete mechanist materialism, nothing else is in the universe, you know, God is dead, that kind of thing. Or it could be like humanity is all we've got and it's something that's unique and special. I have no idea which one they were going for.
Yeah, I don't either.
Literally, it says nothing.
Yeah.
Like,
They're both equally possible.
Yeah, I have no clue. It was just
don't give me
Image-
that fucking
space
up
images
here
on screen.
interpretation bullshit either.
At least they didn't do like an ending that was, you know, what's the word, ambiguous.
Yeah.
You know, I could have sworn that they were going to do that going into this. Like,
Yeah.
did he die? Was he dreaming the whole thing? You
Yeah.
know? because that was another big meditation, I guess, if you could call it that, like the human psyche, and it's the effects that deep space has on it.
Yeah.
And the effects that it has are Brad Pitt almost cries. That's what happens when you go to deep space.
It gets a little sad sometimes.
It gets a little sad. So, yeah, I think the only two worthwhile moments in that movie were like the one scene where they were going on the moon and getting chased by the pirates.
Yep.
That I thought they were gonna do more with that setting.
That was
really
interesting.
cool.
I was like, moon pirates or just pirates in general?
Moon pirates.
Moon pirates.
But like the political situation they described, where like they were like various nations harboring them and stuff.
Yeah.
I wanted to watch that movie.
I know.
That was way cooler.
That was something I like mentally made a note of, is to mention is I would have rather watched the moon movie and not anything else. Just stay on the moon.
Yeah.
Yep.
Give me the political situation on the moon. Do like a Dune where
all like 10 billion people that were on that existed at that time. We could have followed any of the other ones.
It would have been infinitely better. Like honestly, that lieutenant at the beginning who got like murked by one of the pirates and shot in the head, he had more of a personality than Brad Pitt in the entire movie.
Most of the other characters, yeah. Because everything else, I was just like, I don't care about you at all. Like his wife, I don't care.
Yeah.
His relationship with his wife, I don't care.
It was really weird.
Like it wasn't developed, and I don't care. Like what was?
It was so generic in a word.
She never
generic.
has like a single line other than the recordings. Like she never ever speaks otherwise.
And it was very disconcerting to hear Arwen say the word "fucking." That was a little weird.
Arwen and the girl from Hellboy.
Right.
What else has she been in?
The Incredible Hulk.
Yeah.
She was Bruce Banner's girlfriend.
Was she?
Yeah.
True story.
I try to forget that.
such a long time ago. Back when the MCU was just a baby.
I know. The simpler time.
Isn't Stanley's cameo in that where he drinks like irradiated?
Yeah, he drinks like the
soda.
blood, the blood that was in the soda.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. True.
Fuck Ed Astra, it's a piece of shit. Sure do.
It's one of those movies where I call them like Sundance movies because it's so much like. Let me take that one again. I call them Sundance movies, right? Because like they're trying so hard to say something, but it's almost like they don't have the budget to do it.
Yeah.
And this one didn't even have that excuse.
Yeah.
Because they clearly had good SFX guys. You know, the effects in this movie were pretty good, but the message, the plot, the narrative, they were all cyclical and meaningless and generic. So
yeah. That's it. I mean, there's not much to this movie. Like what?
So anyway, Joker, guys.
So Joker,
It's a Joker now.
Ad Astra was bad.
Yes.
Am I right? You know what was also maybe bad, depending on all your reflections on it? Joker.
Yeah, that's a good point. I don't know what my thoughts are on that either. Honestly, I kind of feel. This
We're really rocking this.
Yes, I have noticed that. Your floor is very crooked too, though, so it could be that.
There's literally pieces of concrete that jut up.
I am aware of your floor, Jordan. Anyways.
I was like, I've been out here every week mapping it out.
Little tape measures.
Anyways.
Tunnels.
Murray, one small thing.
Yeah.
When you bring me out, can you introduce me as Joker?
We're gonna come into each of our three opinions. I'm pretty neutral on Joker.
Okay, sure.
We
actually are. Yeah, I'm pretty sure everyone hated it, and I think I liked it more.
I was pretty neutral on it.
Okay.
Neutral to
You
mostly indifferent. Actually,
okay,
would be a good way to describe it.
I think that I probably liked it better than you guys.
Okay. I liked it. Again, if I could, kind of like threw me out of it a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't have any like major complaints with it. It just, to me, it just could have been. I don't know what it could have been done better, but it just didn't really hit that right chord for me. Maybe it's because I wanted to see more. Have an expectation of what Batman and Joker is.
Sure.
That's even like though I knew it's going to be different, it still kind of had its thing. Or maybe it was just that the fact that Joker was the name attached to it.
Sure.
But then we wouldn't have seen it if it wasn't. So it's
the
a double-edged sword, yeah.
Yeah, I think my big complaints with it were just that the pacing was really bad.
Yeah, it was.
The pacing could have been condensed. The movie was really only had an hour's worth of story to tell. The other thing was that the other big thing was that a big part of the plot, or a significant part of his backstory, relies on the fact that he's an unreliable narrator, and all of the other people in his life, it's sort of ambiguous whether or not they're reliable either. You know, like is Thomas Wayne lying? Is his mother telling the truth? You know, stuff like that. But they really shot that through way too early by showing the audience that he had delusions, like how when he was on Robert De Niro's late night show, you know. I think that really undercut a lot of like the payoffs of the later reveals, like how the Domino chick from Deadpool 2 wasn't actually his girlfriend, you know. That would have been a lot more satisfying if that was a surprise, you know. But those were my big complaints with it. I think that there were other things that I think that genuinely did well, and were genuinely different from previous portrayals of the Joker. So
No, I agree. It's definitely different portrayals. There's a couple of times which I usually don't notice. It's just like the cinematography of movies, because I'm a basic white person, and so I don't pay attention to that unless I like really notice it.
Right.
Like
Roger Ebert.
Like I know enough to like. When I like think about it to look for it, but when I'm just like, especially first viewing, I don't pay attention to cinematography. I'm gonna do like a lot of the different, like you said, being fairly different. But yeah, it felt like not much happened, and then something happened, and then it was over.
The movie.
But yeah, like you said, it was really slow, and it was a lot of just like, look how much his life sucks before I actually kind of got like, there was like 3 times like, oh, he's the Joker now. Oh, now he's really the Joker, and now he's finally a Joker.
It was way too slow. I will grant you that.
That was my main complaint. Is just very, very slow. There's a lot of just slow-mo shots of him. Not really slow-mo, but
dancing,
moving,
like
slow dancing by himself, smoking and laughing.
And looking like Christian Bale in The Machinist.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, yeah, his deformed body.
Got those protruding ribs.
And like the shoulders.
Yeah, what was up with his shoulders?
He could, like,
there were so many, like...
They were like dislocated forward. Anyway.
But I mean, the effect that had was very good.
Yeah.
You know? It was
very
disconcerting.
I think it would have. I would have enjoyed it more if it was more condensed.
Oh yeah.
If it was short,
like an hour and a half instead of
hour. Yeah,
absolutely.
I don't actually know what the running time.
Like
was,
2 hours almost exactly.
Yeah. If it had been a 90-minute, condense some of that earlier stuff. Because I think the last half at least, half or more is good. You get that kind of. That descent into madness, and it is different. That's what I'll give it points for in terms of. It doesn't just do the Jared Leto thing. It doesn't just do the
Heath Ledger thing, which is what I was expecting. So
I was expecting more of that. Yep.
Yeah, it definitely could have worked without the Joker name to it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It could have been its own like sort of. It reminded me a lot of like an M. Night Shyamalan style superhero movie. Like it could have been in like the Glass
kind of, yeah,
you know, in Breakoverse. So
see, I feel like if it didn't have the Batman tied to it, it just would have been Taxi Driver.
Maybe. Yeah.
I mean,
that's a good way to look at it.
Guy gets mad at society and goes ballistic.
Society.
But
yeah, it also could have been Falling Down. It was basically Falling Down too. With Michael Douglas. No. Anyway,
tough crowd.
I watched American Animals, by the way.
Did you?
It was good.
Was it?
Yeah,
I think it's really, really good.
Was it? I recommended that you watch it.
Sorry, I don't expect you to like things. I expect you to hate things most of the time.
I was surprised.
I think it's very underrated. I think it deserved better.
I thought that it was very, very much like The Big Short. Like that style
yeah, but
of
better.
storytelling. Oh yeah, but better.
It is. I told you it's the same style of storytelling. It goes a little bit farther with the stylization.
Yeah,
I think, and which is better.
Which I like.
Yeah. Where it like swaps out the characters.
It's also
like,
an example of being an unreliable narrator.
Yeah,
you don't know which version of the story.
Doesn't that add to it?
I like that. Yeah, it was very good. It's one thing that came out of the Sundance Film Festival that was actually worth watching.
Yeah, because it is like a pretty low budget. Like it would not cost very much to make that movie.
No. And the only actor who has ever been in anything else was Quicksilver, who was the lead.
No, the other kid's been in a lot of...
What?
The other kid? What's his... I don't know his name. I'm going to be honest. I don't know his name. He's been in other things, though.
Like what? Checkmate.
Checkmate.
A lot of... I don't remember the director's name. He is a very foreign name, and he
That's
says
racist,
a lot of stuff
you
with
pig.
Colin Farrell.
All right, the Colin Farrell.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Joker,
back to the Joker again.
Yeah. So here's the thing about Joker. The big selling point of the film is that the protagonist is not the hero, right?
Yep.
And I think that this is something that people are missing in their reviews a lot, because some people, I see half of the people online, praising the movie for like showing the downtrodden rising up sort of thing, as though the Joker is some sort of like basically they're getting taken in by his story.
Yeah.
And I think the real I guess charm, the real draw of it for me was the fact that you kind of have to, you're forced to come to your own conclusion about it, and it's not going to be what the film leads. The film leads you to disagree with its own conclusion based on the way that it presents its narrative. Which that's why I liked it. Well, I would say I wouldn't say I completely like it. I think I would give it probably a 7.5, maybe a 7. But the reason why I thought it was had a value is because of that, which is something that I don't think gets done a lot. Usually the morality is just, the theme is usually just there's nothing, just complete nihilism in modern movies, or very spoon-fed, and very generic, like be nice to old people.
Not to sound too pretentious, but I think a lot of people have missed the fact that it's telling a story from Joker's perspective. That doesn't mean his perspective is correct.
Exactly.
Or that you should be like, yeah, he's the good guy now. No. But I do give him props for sticking to that and telling a wow, we're gonna start that one over.
It's late, guys.
It's very late. Yeah.
But I give him a lot of credit for sticking to that and telling it from the Joker's perspective. I think there isn't. You're right. There's not a lot of things that do that really anymore.
Right.
Because people apparently don't understand it.
Because I've seen so many people condemning the movie for promoting violence too. On the other side, as though the movie is not portraying that in an unsympathetic light, because he was a terrorist who started a riot,
I do not understand all, both sides, political stuff, the terrorism, oh my goodness, people calm the fuck down.
It's a movie.
It's a movie about a crazy clown.
It's always like what I liked, the stuff I liked best is just watching the descent into madness.
Sure.
Joaquin Phoenix was acting his little heart out. He's trying to get that Oscar.
He was really going.
Yes, he was.
But I mean, at least it worked better because in some ways, Ad Astra and Joker were very similar in that both of them, the linchpin was the performance of the lead.
The only character is the lead,
right?
Yeah.
And at least Joaquin Phoenix pulled it off better than Brad Pitt.
Oh yeah.
So.
That was the other thing that I liked is the Joker's not understanding when to laugh at the beginning, like jokes and stuff. I did like that in his notebook where he's trying to figure out what's funny.
Sure.
Because he just doesn't understand. Like he's so fucked in the head.
It was kind of like a deconstruction of that whole attitude, you know. And
by the end, he kind of figures it out and
right learns to laugh again.
This is life of a comedy.
Yeah. So I guess.
Good thing we watched 2 movies.
Good thing we watched 2 movies.
That's actually why I wanted to do that, because I thought one of them was going to be bad. Actually, I thought both of them were going to be bad.
Right,
but
yeah. I definitely did not have any interest in seeing Joker. I had more interest in seeing Ad Astra, but...
See, I was the other way around.
Yeah.
I had very little interest in watching Joker as well. I'm a Don.
I thought there was going to be a carbon copy of Heath Ledger.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, I agree, but literally all I knew about Ad Astra going into it was Brad Pitt space movie. That's it. I didn't know if it was like...
Is that a bad thing?
Yeah, well, no, it's not a bad...
Out it is.
Well, yeah.
But I didn't know if it was like I don't know how far future, if it was different galaxies, if it was in the... So I had no clue what it was. It could have been Gravity for all I knew.
Sure, yeah. Also another film that gets compared to a lot.
But yeah, from anywhere from Gravity to Interstellar, it could have been anywhere in that range for me, and I had no idea what was going to happen in it.
Yeah.
Turns out not anything at all.
Nothing at all happens in the movie. So, yeah.
But Joker, I probably wouldn't. I would have seen like 3 weeks after it came out when my family all went.
Sure.
Otherwise, is what it would have been.
The reason I don't really think that the character of Joker is super compelling. There, I said it. You know. I don't think the only reason why anybody cares about him these days is because of Heath Ledger.
Yeah.
You know. And so I figured that they were just the whole point of Joker is the film Joker is to capitalize on the success of the Dark Knight trilogy, and it turns out they were doing something slightly different. Yeah. They put a twist on it. It was the same concept, but they put a twist on it. You know.
But no, I think that was my biggest concern with Joker going into it is like, what is Joker without Batman?
Right.
Yeah.
What is a king without his subjects? Jordan looked very offended when I said people don't care about the Joker. You got to respond to that.
At least the Joker wasn't a compelling character, which is different. And that's like why the
he's a fine villain, but he's not a good character by himself.
Yeah. By himself, no.
He's a reason. He's a means.
He's a
to an end.
yin and a yang.
Yeah, he's a means to.
Yes.
An end.
Okay, I'll agree with that.
Yeah.
Like he's a.
I'm
not saying that he doesn't work as like the counterpoint to Batman.
Yeah, because that's the whole thing is he works as the yin and the yang.
And ne'er the twain shall part, shall we say?
Except for this movie.
Well, Bruce Wayne was technically in it, so.
Technically. We gotta talk about Zorro and the gay blade for a second here.
Anyway, I will say one thing that I found interesting about this movie is that it continues the trend that I think it was pretty much the Burton film started, of having Gotham exist in sort of like this weird alternate timeline where it's sort of in like limbo.
What era it is in?
Yeah, like what year did this film take place in?
Yeah.
You know, well, the street signs, a lot of the iconography, a lot of the cars were modern, but you know, and the clothing, a lot of it was modern too. But like obviously the televisions were all very mid-century. It was.
That's just called being lazy. Because this movie is supposed to take place in like the 80s, isn't it?
It's not supposed to have any sort of timeline.
I thought it was explicitly meant to be evocative of like that.
Yeah.
Complete detachment from reality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Nolan, not Nolan. Burton wanted it first, and then kind of the Batman the Animated Series kind of did it as well. But yeah, I like that as well because it was kind of.
Because you off your game,
yeah.
You know, because you didn't know what it's just like a minor thing. Again, it's kind of like the details.
But I do like that, like general, like when I see it, that aesthetic of the old and new clashing, kind of where it's like live in the 50s kind of and 60s. That's where that's when the time is. But then they have like some modern technology too. I do kind of like that. So kind of
retro futurism.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll go with that.
Fucking dime store words over here.
Dime store. I don't think we have anything else to say, do we?
Yeah, I don't have much to say about these movies, unfortunately.
There's really not much to say.
Joker was slightly better than expected. Ed Astra was a pile of hot dog shit.
It was basically nothing.
Yeah.
It wasn't. I can't even insult it because there's nothing to insult.
Yeah. It was just. I kept waiting for it to become interesting, and it never did.
It never did. All right. Well. Thanks for watching.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining us. Goodbye.